Hey guys, it's Jamie Grace, and here's what not to say to engaged couples. It's our last few days of being fiance and fiance before we are husband and wife. Oh my goodness. But I'm uploading this video after the honeymoon. I'm just filming it beforehand. So I wanted to make this video while I'm still engaged because you guys, I did a video called What Not to Say to Single People, and I might need to remake that one. But for now, we need to talk about the stuff that y'all say to people when people are engaged, because what in the world? Most of the time people say things totally pure intentioned because they want to help, they want to be loving, and they want to be supportive. And a lot of times some people just talk because they don't know what to say. But I'm going to just go through a list of some things that I've heard and some things that my friends have heard, and I just want to encourage you to try not to say them. One main thing I would say is don't start any sentence with I could never or I would never. So Aaron and I started to court in November 2017, and we got married or are getting married April 2018. So that's not a long time. And a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions about that. Here's my thing. I get it. I get that you have a lot of strong opinions, but it's not necessarily helpful for you to tell me all of them. So people oftentimes will say, oh, I could never just court someone for a few months, or I could never just court someone. I'd have to date them, or I could never. I get that you could never do it. That's why it's my story, not your story. Another thing that people say, Aaron and I have talked about this so much, it drives both of us insane, is when people say, come back in X amount of years. So when they see us really excited and they were like, oh, we're getting married, we're so pumped, we're engaged, people will oftentimes, and they mostly say it to him, and he gets really frustrated about it, and they'll say, come back in 5 years and tell me what you think about her. This happens to us at least 5 times a week. I'm not even exaggerating, you guys. It's so frustrating and embarrassing, but not for us. It's embarrassing for you. If you're walking around and saying, come back in 5 years or come back in 10 years and tell me if you're that excited, you are now letting us know that your marriage is not what you expected it to be, and that's super awkward and embarrassing. Please be cautious of how you're representing you and your family. I get that marriage can be difficult. Let me rephrase that. I actually don't get it because I've never been married before, but I understand that it's not going to always be easy, but it's also, I don't think, healthy to go around and poorly representing your relationship to other people, especially if you don't know these people. And I know that some people might be joking, but I just don't think it's healthy to even joke like that. The other day, someone even said, call me in 6 months. And I'm like, what's gonna happen in 6 months? I wish that people could just trust that, one, their jokes aren't funny, and two, that we have mentors and pastors and stuff that if there is something in 6 months or 5 or 10 years, like, they're gonna help us. But random stranger at the airport, please don't do that to us. Number 3 would be just go ahead / you're practically married. So I've heard this from a lot of my friends that are choosing to save certain things for the wedding day or the wedding night, the marriage, whatever it might be. And that other people from the outside have said, well, you're practically married, just go ahead, or just go ahead and do this. And I think this is a really dangerous territory. Everyone's boundaries are different. For some people, they choose not to kiss during their engagement. They choose not to hold hands. They choose, not to be alone at all. Everyone's boundaries are different, and they know what those boundaries are, and they have to set those for themselves. Same with Aaron and I. We had to set those for ourselves and hold each other accountable for what those things were. And I think it's really dangerous if someone from the outside starts to belittle what those boundaries are and tries to push you toward, kind of pushing those boundaries. It's not healthy. It's not cute. It needs to not be a thing. The next thing would be people saying either wait to have kids or hurry up and have kids right away. There's this constant need, I think, from humans, and I would very much say that I think I've been guilty of it a few times, maybe more than a few, of pushing toward the next thing. So it's like when someone's engaged, well, when are you getting married? When someone's married, well, when are you having kids? When you have one kid, well, when are you having another one? And I think we just really need to be careful with how we push other people toward the next thing in life, because a lot of times, like, we just in general, we forget to enjoy the moment that's right here. And we forget to focus on our own goals and dreams because we hear the goals and dreams that are being pushed from other people in other directions. So one thing that I would just encourage people not to say to engaged couples is just projecting when you think we should or shouldn't have kids, because just being real, like, they're gonna be our kids, so I feel like we would decide. I also always worry about that. Like, so Aaron and I don't have kids, neither of us have children, but I always worry about that when people say to us, y'all need to wait a few years to have kids, because I always wonder, when they're like strangers, I always wonder, like, what if one of us did have kids? Like, that would make us feel so bad that will make us feel so uncomfortable. And it's just, you never know how your words can have an effect on another person. And overall, I think we should just be a little bit more cautious of that. That's ultimately what it is that recognizing that our words do have a lot of significance and they do hold a lot of strength. And it's okay to live like they do. If someone's in a place in their lives that you wouldn't necessarily be in, and they are like, you know, a close friend or someone that you would consider yourself like a mentor or a leader over, then I do think it's a great time to be like, okay, maybe wait to have kids, or okay, like maybe talk to us in a couple of months and we'll have this conversation again. But especially if you don't really know that person, especially if they're a stranger, if you're not that close to them, it's not your decision, it's not my decision, it's not any of our choices to tell people exactly what to do with their dreams and their goals and their passions. And we gotta be a little bit more cautious of that. Keyword, we. All right, guys, I would love to hear from you if you are engaged or if you're married and you were engaged before you got married. I would love to know if you have any other things, or if you heard people say any other things that I mentioned in this video. Maybe I'll make a part 2 and add some of your comments below. So kids, go ask your parents, hey, do you relate to any of the stuff in this video? I would love to know in the comments below. All right, click on the screen to subscribe, check out more videos and all of that stuff. I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon. I miss you already. Bye.